Namaskar, hello and welcome viewers. You're watching Committee Report with your host Kriti Mishra. Today we'll take a closer look at the report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce on One District, One Product and District Exports Hub. India is known as a land of rich diversities in the world. The geographical uniqueness in cultures, language and surroundings can also be perceived in its bearing of a variety of products. Each district of India can be characterized as an exclusive source of distinct and distinguished products. The report of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce has analysed the contours of the initiatives of districts as export hubs and ODOP, its operational framework, aims and aspirations. Before the detailed analysis, let's take a look at this detailed report. Government of India has recently launched the initiatives of districts as export hub and One District, One Product. The initiatives aspire for establishing a systemic approach to realizing the true economic potential of districts in India. These initiatives intend to bring the local community or producers based in each district of the country into the economic mainstream. The report is an effort to provide opinions and suggestions to the government on further improving these initiatives. The committee is of the view that the landmark initiatives of both DEH and ODOP are a breakthrough in India's export regime, wherein the districts have been made a focal point of their execution. The committee, however, feels that the modalities and the modus operandi in executing them should be in conformity with the principles underlying the two initiatives. And for deeper insights on the observations and recommendations of the committee, I'm joined by an illustrious panel of guests. Joining us in the studio, Mr. Vijay Reddy, Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce. Also joining us in the studio, Mr. Nitish Suri, Joint Director General of Foreign Trade. And joining us through virtual platform, K. Daina Devi, District Magistrate and Chairperson of District Export Committee of East Imphal. I welcome all of you on Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Reddy, let me begin the program with you. The Committee on Commerce has, of course, complimented the government for these two initiatives as far as recognizing the products of each district is concerned. But you said that the coverage should be expanded to all the 773 districts. While appreciating, you've also said that the implementation is a very important part. So what are the challenges and how do we address them?
Yes. The two initiatives of the Government of India for transforming each district as manufacturing hub and also export hub are laudable, really laudable. But there are some lags in implementation, and these lags are to be rectified by the Government of India. First of all, the district committees, district promotional committees, which have been constituted, there is absolute lack of coordination, and the plans are not being done in a time-bound manner, not implemented in time-bound manner. And the lack of coordination between the different stakeholders is also another problem. And thirdly, performance audits for the initiatives are not being done regularly. And there are other issues also, because DEH, District as Export Hub, is implemented by Department of Commerce under Director General of Foreign Trade, whereas ODOP is implemented by DPIIT. And there is a lack of coordination. Even though both the departments come under the same ministry, there is absolute lack of coordination or element of lack of coordination between the two departments. Therefore, it is hindering the very objective with which these two initiatives have been initiated by the Government of India. And there are various ministries are involved in this. Ministries like textiles, industry, IT, and then MSME, food processing, textiles, all these ministries are involved in this ODOP. And there is a lack of coordination among the ministries also. Initially, we thought of recommending interministerial empowered ministerial committee. Subsequently, because it's for every month ministers sitting in the committee meeting would be difficult. Therefore, we have recommended for formation of constitution of empowered secretaries, empowered group of secretaries from the concerned ministries, so that there will be inter-ministerial coordination, and whatever issues that crop up from time to time would be sorted out on monthly basis. And secondly, there has to be a coordination between the states and center, Union of India. And states and union territories are very important. They play very crucial role in implementing this project because they know, the officials of the respective state government know very well at the ground level situation which district is suitable for manufacturing of which product and how to make that as a district export hub, and whether clusters of districts have to be formed. And because more than one district, it is for example coffee, it is not confined to one district in Karnataka or even West Bengal. So they encompasses more than one district. So these districts, 2 or more districts can be formed as clusters and then make it as one district export hub for to this thing. And then regulatory authorities. The regulatory authorities under DGFT should ascertain the ground level situation of manufacturing and production and marketing of these products. Those reports of these regional authorities are very important, and they are to be implemented in its letter and spirit, and need to strengthen this private and public partnership. See, it is very important to have, because Government of India cannot involve, or state governments cannot involve in each and everything unless you involve the local traders and local manufacturers and also local MSMEs. Therefore, we have recommended for private and public participation in implementing these 2 initiatives. And then financial literacy, which is very important. Most of the farmers, because they are all villages, many villages, and 60% of the population of this country are living in the villages, and people from the village lack that knowledge of finance. And they are to be taught the level of financial literacy and awareness among the farmers, small traders and MSMEs is very low. They are to be educated, and dedicated portal further to fund them, to fund their project. A dedicated portal either from NABARD or from some other financial institutions like cooperative banks are to be constituted in order to fund the projects that are implemented by these farmers and MSMEs. And branding. Next item is branding. So what is produced in these districts have to be branded globally. For that, we'll have to depend on e-commerce platforms. So unless it is branded and then advertised globally, it is very difficult to create the market for that. So therefore, it has to be done by initiative has to be made from the Government of India, and then branding of the products is to be done. And then collective body mechanism should be set up for selected district for endorsement of branding of this product. And then, as you have rightly said, out of 773 districts, only 733 districts are covered. So there is absolute necessity to cover all the 773 districts, and in order to synergize trade synergies, in order to establish the trade synergies and for the emerging markets. Particularly the issue what you have pointed out, that untapped market, particularly Latin America and Africa, and they are to be leveraged and explored and leveraged. And Invest India, there's one organization, one organization in the Commerce Ministry, Invest India, should establish this trade synergies with these emerging markets in order to provide trust to the export of identified brands.
All right, sir, you made very valid points there. And of course, the most pertinent point about the brand. Let me take that to joint DGFT. As the Honorable Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce said, that few products have their brand value, but we have to amplify the brand value of other products as far as the export hubs are concerned, or even ODOP. What's the way ahead?
So under District Export Hub, we have tried to create an institution mechanism in the districts in the form of district export promotion committees. also in states in the form of state export promotion committees. So this institutional mechanism is going ahead with identifying specific products and services in the districts for which there is an export potential. So 2 or 3 specific products or services which are unique to that particular district are being identified, and specific strategies and plans are being prepared to boost export of these identified products and services. So in those plans, while forming those plans, there is extensive consultation of all the stakeholders which are being done to identify what are the bottlenecks, what are the infrastructure gaps, what are the logistic disadvantages that these products are facing while getting exported or while getting branded or while getting marketed. So these plans will be customized for each product and service which is getting exported from these districts. So these plans will then, government will be working to ensure that some sort of support will be provided to the districts to implement these plans. And through that, somewhere the contribution of EPCs, other agencies of the government, other departments of the government, and also the Indian embassies abroad will be able to market and brand these products outside India.
Right. So let's find out what's happening on the ground from Dinah Ji. Dinah Ji, welcome to Sansad Television. Now, we understand that East Imphal is among the 75 districts of India shortlisted by Director General of Foreign Trade under Phase 1 of District as Export Hub Initiative. It is the only district shortlisted in Manipur. Tell us about your experience on the ground.
So first of all, I would like to thank DGFT for including for this opportunity, and also Sansad TV for this opportunity. So as you have highlighted, Imphal East is the only district in the entire state of Manipur which has been shortlisted for this scheme. So under this scheme, so the district has been very fortunate enough, and we have constituted district export promotion committee in which we have tried to include all kind of stakeholders, all the line departments such as agri, horticulture, fishery, handloom and textiles, and also expert bodies such as we have the Manipur Organic Mission Agency, and we also have also invited bodies such as APIDA, then the Export Promotion Councils, and NABARD, then KVK also we have invited as part of our district export promotion committee, and various other stakeholders and experts in the field of exports. So with this, we have had several rounds of deliberations at the district level, and we have been constantly guided by DGFT. So, yes. and then we have, after thorough deliberations, we have finally, finalized 3 products which we would like to give a trust under this district as export hub scheme. So those products for in the respect of Imphal East are pineapple. We have chosen this because the state has got a surplus production of very good variety of pineapples, which is famous not only for its flavor but also for its juiciness. Yes. And then and we have also identified chakhao. Chakhao is the local name for the black aromatic rice, and this is also very famous for its medicinal values and as well as its potential for large-scale production in the state of Manipur and Imphal East district particularly. And we have also chosen diversified handloom and handicraft products. This handloom and handicraft products are very dear to the state of Manipur. They are the pride of Manipur. So we have chosen these 3 products which to be given a trust under this initiative.
Right, right. So these are the products. Mr. Reddy, I'd like to take that question to you. Of course, we have the uniqueness in our country, but it's all about marketing those products. Of course, in your report, you've suggested that the government should utilize the digital platforms. How do you see the role of such platforms in furthering the market for these products?
Before we get into this question, answer to this question, see, I would like to bring to the notice of Diana ji that in India, see, take for example tea. Darjeeling tea is world #1 tea. Unfortunately, of course, brand name is created. Darjeeling tea is known throughout the world. And the price of Darjeeling tea is 3 times more than the normal tea, or 3 or 4 times more than the normal tea. Unfortunately, the tea that is produced in Nepal is being brought to India and then being marketed as Darjeeling tea and then exported.
Yes.
So it's very unfortunate. And those who import the Nepal tea and not the real producers of tea, it is the intermediaries who are getting the benefits because of these malpractices and all. In fact, I have suggested in one of my reports that this type of course, I mean, we do the branding. After branding, we should ensure that the original producer should get the maximum, should reap the maximum benefits, and the effort should be made by the government of India and also the respective state government to prevent the adulteration.
Right.
And then coming to the e-platform, this is very, very important. The product that is produced in each district may not have any demand locally, domestically, and also within India. And export market is to be created, for which we will have to depend naturally on the e-market platform.
Yes.
See, the e-commerce and digital platforms are the future for exports. If you go back to 5 years back or 10 years back, there was, abysmally low e-market. Now it has improved. China is the largest e-market globally,
right,
generating 50% of the world transactions, covering almost out of the total world transactions, 50% of the transactions do occur in China only. And it is the first in the country in the world to have online sales than traditional retail, more online sales than the traditional sales. After this corona, India has got an opportunity because as of today, many do not prefer, not only Indian citizens, even other countries also do not prefer Chinese products,
right,
because people of the world, not only here, we believe that disease is originated in China. And therefore, India can utilize this vacuum to its advantage and develop the e-market platforms to improve, to boost the exports. And e-commerce is as I've rightly said, e-commerce is the future, and they can help in developing the district exports, district as export hub, particularly in Tier 2 and Tier 3 class of cities.
Yes.
Lucrative for the global markets. And it is the responsibility of the government of India, Union of India,
right,
to conduct the virtual trade fairs and exhibitions that can help drive the demand for these products, and so that Indian products in other countries also can be demand for that can be increased. And collaborating with the major e-companies, which is very, very important. For example, collaboration with logistical issues to sort out the logistical issues faced by the small manufacturers. This collaboration is very, very important. There is another important issue, need to improve the digital literacy. For example, 400 million people in this country are living in the villages, rural areas, who do not have any access to the internet.
Right.
See, that is very important.
Right.
For success of these two initiatives, giving the internet connection for the entire India, access to the 400 million people who are residing in the villages is very, very important, and it is the responsibility of the Union of India to address that problem. And lack of digital. See, mere internet connection will not sort out the problem.
True.
But literacy, lack of digital literacy is also hindering the initiatives. Therefore, it has to be, people have to be educated on that. And thirdly, the last point is to reap the benefits of e-commerce. The digital platforms, a more digitally informed export policy approach.
Yes.
Export policy, more digitally informed export policy approach must be adopted by the Union of India.
Absolutely. I take that to Dinah Ji. Dinah Ji, as Honorable Chairman said, that it's all about market linkages. On the ground, what are the challenges that you face for marketing your product?
In terms of market linkages, see, like all chairperson sir has already highlighted, the grassroots level producers, weavers, and artisans, they're not able to reap the benefits as of now. So the state government also has also robbed in, and then we have recently the government of Manipur has recently signed an MOU with e-commerce big platforms such as Amazon. So in that kind, we have the state government is also helping. But then from district point of view, I would like to highlight that a lot has to be done, and there's still a lot of gaps in terms of connecting the this grassroots producers with the uh, with the
The buyers, yes.
with the exporters. So they're not getting the real benefits.
So real benefits, join DGFT, that's the point of concern for all of us, whether it is about market or in fact about easy access to finance as well.
Right. So one of the main objectives of the initiative, both in District Export Hub and ODOP, is to handhold the manufacturers and exporters on ground to assist them in getting on board in these e-commerce platforms. So under DH and ODOP, the teams at the state level, also the regional authorities of DGFT and also DPIIT has been working with e-commerce platforms like Amazon, Etsy, eBay to give on-ground training to the manufacturers who want to get on board in these e-commerce platforms. Because there is some level of hesitation in getting into these e-commerce platforms, because most of these, as Danny ji just said, there is some level of disconnect between the exporters on ground and for them to getting on board in these e-commerce platforms.
Right.
So we are trying to work out with some of these e-commerce platforms to give the trainings in our stakeholder consultation meetings that we are holding as part of the initiative in the districts. Also, to one point what Chairman Sir said, we are also engaging all the stakeholders in the district, be it GMDIC, the Horticulture Department, other state industries department, and the other export promotion councils as well, to come up with a strategy to ensure that all the products and services that we have identified get requisite strategies are prepared for them to be onboarded in these platforms. There are buyer-seller meets which are conducted. There are exhibitions which are conducted, not just with the buyers abroad, but with the small local manufacturers. We can conduct a buyer-seller meet also with the main exporters,
right,
so that they buy their products and then they export. If they are not able to somehow get themselves on board in these e-commerce platforms. So all these is part of hand-holding, as part of the initiative that we are working with the state governments and the district authorities to go ahead with this initiative going forward.
All right, of course, we understand that endeavors are needed in that direction, but I have last 2 minutes on the show, sir. I'll give the last word to you. Of course, we've been talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, making in India for the world, having a local approach, but with a global goal in mind. What's the roadmap, sir?
Atmanirbhar Bharat is the only scheme which can save India, and because the major problem India is facing imports. When import bill, see, because of the, you are aware of the balance of payments,
Yes,
and revenue deficit. And these revenue deficit and net inflow of foreign currency into India, and it is because of the remittances, foreign remittances from the people who have gone from India and residing abroad and on for employment, and it is these remittances which are saving in India right now.
yes.
And it is very important for India to save the foreign currency and to reduce the outward remittances so that balance of payments is maintained. The first one is the oil imports. Oil imports is a major problem.
Yes.
So the whatever oil resources that are available in India, they are to be exploited, and further the electric energy is to be hydrogen energy or electric energy is to be encouraged. Alternative energy resources are to be explored and exploited. And Atmanirbhar Bharat, whatever goods that are being utilized here by people of India and required by the people of India should be manufactured here,
Right.
and we must be able to export to the
Correct.
other countries, so that the dependence on China as of now would be reduced in future, and that can only that is the good initiative of Honorable Prime Minister of the country, and it can only save the country in the future.
And of course, schemes like DEH and ODOP could go a long way in ensuring and realizing the potential
Yes,
of all the districts.
It is the China which has successfully implemented this
Yes.
ODOP scheme, and it should be successful. It should be made successful even in India also. Whatever initiatives that are to be taken, they are to be implemented in a most efficient manner.
Absolutely, sir. With those positive remarks, let's end this conversation here. Thank you so much for joining us, Honorable Chairman, Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce, Joint DGFT, and also Diana-ji. Thank you so much for speaking to Sansad Television. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Namaskar.